By adopting this one mindset, it has made me feel unstoppable in my decluttering, in my fitness, in my relationships, my work, literally in every area, because I'm reminded that I can do this in some way, even when I don't feel like it. It takes the focus off being perfect and puts it on making progress where I see actual and sustainable change. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Christy, and I make content centered around realizing that no matter where we are in life, no matter our age, we are just on time to live the life of our dreams. And this year, we're about making changes that stick. Imagine this: 1 month, 3 months, 1 year from now, you look in the mirror and you realize that you are living a life that you only dreamed possible. You've lost the extra weight. You wake up and feel like you have balance. Your home is more clean than it is messy, and you've decluttered all of the unnecessary stuff, and you feel good about the contribution that you're making to yourself, your family, and the world around you. And you realize that you didn't have to run yourself ragged to make it happen. It happened because you made the simple decision to show up for yourself every single day. That was the decision that I made for myself last year. And as soon as I did, it was like this light bulb came on in different areas of my life that I had been wanting and that I had been working toward, but that I had been having some struggle with. I got my dream job. I found it easy to be consistent with waking up early, with working out. I grew spiritually. I got decluttered. I saw so much growth. So often we set goals and then we struggle to meet them because there is this underlying idea that we have to make these big, sweeping, drastic changes all at once. And we put pressure on ourselves to be perfect every single day at the habits and the routines that we know that it takes to get to our goals and get to whatever those desired outcomes are. And when we eventually slip up, say we miss a workout, we eat a little bit too much, we get a bad grade, we get off our routine, anything happens that causes us to slip up, and we feel like we have to start all over again. But we don't feel like starting all over again because it took a lot out of us. And then we are completely off track until we find the motivation to get back on track again. That is a recipe for being stuck on a hamster wheel where we never actually achieve the things that we set out or intend to do. So how do we get off this hamster wheel for good and stay the course? By showing up. So what does it mean to show up? Showing up is actually making the commitment to do the thing in some capacity, no matter what. I love it because I am a natural perfectionist, and when I can't do something perfectly, I will get very frustrated with myself. But the mindset to show up is not about being perfect. It is about prioritizing progress and prioritizing doing something. I've adopted it as my word/phrase for the year because I want to show up in every aspect of my life on a daily basis. And I want to make decisions that prioritize showing up for the goals that I have. All throughout last year, that was my unofficial focus. Many of you have followed along with my decluttering. It was really overwhelming for me at first, but I told myself and made the commitment to just do something. And I broke down the task into a lot of smaller chunks, which for me was the mindset to just show up in that area. And deciding to show up daily was a lot of what got things moving for me. When our minds are focused on showing up, the changes that we are looking to make naturally come because it is the small daily habits that we are consistently doing that lead to change, not the big things that we do every once in a while, not these swinging pendulums of I'm high, I'm low, I'm high, I'm low, I'm doing the thing, I'm not doing the thing, but daily putting in work and doing the things to get to the changes that we are trying to make. So what does that look like? First off, don't try, do. Showing up is a mindset, and you have to replace the mindset of I am trying to get here with this is who I am. I'm trying is a mindset that very often gives us an out for if we don't do the thing, if that thing doesn't happen, if we don't get where it is that we're trying to go. Whereas this is who I am, it doesn't give us that out because it makes that thing part of our identity. When something is part of our identity, we act in those ways as if we already have it. When we see ourselves in a space and we are functioning in that reality, even if it's not fully in our possession just yet, that is when things start to change. Figure out ways to make that thing that's part of your reality, the habits that it takes to get there, part of your routine, part of who you are, part of just what you do. Another thing is that you can show up in every area of your life. in your finances, your health, your work, your spiritual goals, your attitude, your personal goals, whatever it is, you can show up in some way in every area of your life. If you're trying to declutter, finding one small space to tackle every day. If you're trying to save money, showing up looks like setting and sticking to a budget. Even if finances are really tight, having a budget, and probably even especially if finances are tight, having a budget is going to be so key and so necessary to making some change financially. If you're in school, routinely having time set aside to study. If you're trying to get closer to God, setting aside time every single day to do a devotional. It does not have to be some big elaborate thing, but it really is in the simple and the basic things that give us traction toward the goals that we're trying to achieve. Fitness and health are really big priorities for me, so I show up by moving some type of way every single day. So I make sure that I'm getting in my walk. If I don't have time for that, I'll do a 15 to 30-minute workout, but just some way that allows me to be able to get in some movement. When I don't show up, I noticed the effects. Over the Christmas break, I didn't really show up for myself. Like I ate, I drank, I didn't do hardly any level of movement beyond what was just the bare necessity, and I paid for it. But that's okay. We're totally back on track. But yeah, having the mindset to show up takes away the excuses. We oftentimes make excuses for why we can't XYZ, but when we adopt the mindset to just show up, it takes away those excuses because we realize it doesn't have to be overly time consuming or expensive or any of those things. It just takes the willingness to prioritize those areas of our lives in some way every day. Like I said, when I don't show up, I notice the effects. But when I do, I feel like I am just constantly, and I see myself constantly moving in the direction that I want to go. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Do not let perfect be the enemy of good. And that is me preaching to myself, because I have oftentimes had to get to a place where I realize that good enough is good enough. And so then showing up means that on the days that I feel like giving 100%, I give 100%. And on the days that I feel like giving 5% because that's all I have, I don't then say, oh, I'm not going to do anything because I only have 5%. No, I give that 5%. And it stops me from getting to a place where I'm feeling overwhelmed by this mountain that it seems that I have to climb. And I'm just focusing on taking one step in the right direction. I am not perfect, but that is my focus this year. And that was where I saw the most change and the most consistency, was when I decided I am just going to show up. Every day that I have that mindset, I see my life and I see the things that I'm working on, the things that I'm trying to do, going in the direction that I want them to go. I feel more thankful and more grateful for where I am, and I feel like I can do things. Literally, I truly do feel unstoppable. I feel really proud of the progress that I'm making, and I feel less frustrated when things are not there yet, because while getting there is always the goal, that was not my immediate intent. My intent was just to show up and to make progress, which is what I'm doing. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and let me know in the comments how you are working to show up in your life. Also, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? I'm gonna need you to jump on that. Alrighty guys, I love you and I will see you in my next. Bye for now. Mwah.